realize sometimes that you can actually get out and, experience a whole nother life and do something completely different. And and you don't have to really be as stressed out as you might feel like you are. And sometimes it's about that time to enjoy life and just take a break off so that you don't live with any regrets. And so, Ruben, Ruben wants to go. What happened? I tried to accept you, Ruben. I don't know. You want to talk about that? Or if you're an expat, if you already live in this expat life and you traveling around and you bopping from place to place or experiencing different countries right now, like I am, then and you have something to add to that conversation to assist people, because a lot of people, I feel the reason why I'm doing these kind of lives now is because I feel like a lot of people are kind of getting fed up with their life in their countries, and sometimes they just want to get up and just say, you know what, to hell with all of this. I'm sick of it all. And if you're not too burdened with responsibilities, bills, uh, house notes, car notes. If you're able to somehow be able to curtail all of those bills and all of those headaches and get it from underneath those, then you can take off and try to have, a year or two of just kind of experiencing life instead of just spending your life of being, your wheels. And I'm so glad it's real popular now. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, y'all. Welcome in. How y'all doing? Thanks for joining in. I just want to say hi to everybody. I'm new to these kind of platforms, so I just want to. Right now, I'm just talking about expat life, and a lot of people. I think if you're expat, throw up a two sign, peace sign, or whatever, a heart, or whatever you do. Um, Tap the screen if you live an expat life, or if you want to live an expat life, or if you're interested in traveling around the world and stuff, then yeah, come on out here. And it's just very possible. I just wanted to speak and let y'all know it's very possible. I've been gone now almost 2 years, and the people that I'm meeting, like they've been gone for years and years and years. You know, what's up, Jen? What's up, Jenny? What's going on? The other expats I know, they've been gone for years, and they're out here just living their life, kind of bopping from place to place, kind of like what I'm doing, just going to different places, living different places, and experiencing different cultures, different food, and all of that stuff. And I just want to say it's very possible, guys. So depending upon where you at and where you at in life, there's steps that you can take to go ahead and try to encourage you. Yeah, to try to experience this life. So I do want to talk about some of those steps right now. Um, that you could take. Now, first of all, if you are feeling like you are overwhelmed, if you are feeling like you're tired of where you're at in life, if you are feeling like you want to get up and just go experience different parts of the world, and the crazy part about it is the idea is that people think it's actually more expensive, but you can live this life for less than how much you're living in the West. So, that's the crazy thing, because at first in my mind, I was the same way. I was like, wait a minute, like, how are people traveling like that, man? How are they living their life like that? Because it's too expensive. Because you only think about how it is when you take a vacation and you go stay in a Ritz Carlton or some all inclusive resort, and you're like, oh, I could live like this all my life if I could afford it. But the reality is that you can, if you can figure out a way to bring in a certain amount of money per month. And the thing about it is that certain amount of money is like a quarter of probably what your life costs you right now to live the same level or higher. So keep that in mind. Like, you really, really don't have to really struggle in the same way. And all I can tell y'all is, like, I had never really been this much at peace until I became an expat and started to live abroad. And I swear it's like feels like the moment I got off that plane and I left the West, like I left, I shedded all the headaches and the issues and the problems and all the things that go along with the lifestyle back there. And you just leave it behind, man. And you just live a more spiritually free existence. You know, all of the banter and the fighting and the arguing over stuff that's really irrelevant. You don't have to be a part of that stuff, man. If you're a person, because everybody don't want to be arguing and fighting over irrelevant shit. Some people literally do want to actually just live a decent life, enjoy their surroundings, enjoy food, enjoy culture, enjoy the beach, enjoy the city, and just live a, a relaxing life. Everybody don't want to be fighting over stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Petty little arguments, unnecessary shit, just to, somebody's taking a side over here, somebody's taking over side over there. It's all irrelevant, you know? So the question is, are you one of those kind of people? Are you one of those people who want to take a year off or take a year and kind of free your mind and clear your conscience and give yourself a chance to really experience what the gift of life really is? It really is a gift. And I think you're going to experience so much more pleasure and peace. But I want to warn people who really don't know how to live in peace. If you're a person who really need drama, or you need negativity around you all the time, or you need to be involved in something messy, then you're going to bring that with you wherever you go. And I'm going to probably tell you that you're not going to enjoy this kind of life, you know, because you're going to go out and you're going to meet people and you're going to bring your messiness to that. And the majority of the people didn't leave where they're from to be in mess. So you're going to get ostracized very quickly. Before you know it, people are going to be like, I don't want to be around that person. I didn't come out here for that. I came out here to live in peace. I don't want no drama. I want no negativity. You leave that where you go back wherever you come from. And that's the thing. When you come out here and you're traveling around the world, you have people who really are out here who've given up their other life for a reason because they don't want no part of that shit. They don't want to be always fighting and arguing. They don't want to be scared to go to the Target. They don't want to be scared to go to a baseball game or outdoor concert. They don't want to be arguing back and forth for politics. They don't want to be arguing back and forth for religious bullshit. They don't want to be fighting or worried about their kid going to school. Are they going to come home safe? I'm just being honest with y'all, man. The propaganda campaign is ridiculous, man. And it's not until you get out here, like, the stuff that people, and it's not a them versus us type of thing. It's just that go wherever you feel most comfortable at. That's the thing. You don't have to be afraid to go out and experience something that can make you feel more comfortable. You have to understand that you're going to be starting your whole life all over. It's going to be completely different, you know. And so you're going to have to shed the old you to get to the new you. You're going to have to give up some things to get to the new person. You're going to have to let go of some of the materialism. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everything that you want and that you think you can only get in the West, most of the stuff you're getting in the West, you're getting from the East. We all know that now. So for you to be afraid that you're not going to have access to anything is ridiculous. Especially when you come southeast, which is where I specialize in the Southeast Asia area. There are some more costly things, but I would say that if you first want a soft entree into the lifestyle, probably Mexico is it good. If you're afraid that you're gonna jump into to plunge into some cold water or plunge into some very hot water, you're afraid that something bad gonna happen, or you're afraid that you're not gonna be close enough to get back home, etc. Start off in Mexico. Yes, but I just want to let you know that Mexico is probably only about half of three quarter, maybe half to three quarters of how much it costs to, I would say half of what it costs to live in America. I was in Mexico for about 3 months this year. So I was in Merida, and I was in also in Puebla. So welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. And what's up, Christine Gibson? What's going on? Robbie B, Jeff Robbins, welcome, welcome. And so I've been traveling around and moving around, and I would say Mexico is a really good start for people who might be a little bit nervous about uh, making that transition. And then you can start off in Mexico and then slowly kind of dip on down to maybe Uruguay or Belize. Oh, Belize is a good one too, because you got to think Belize is so diverse, and they use the dollar, and not only do they use the dollar, also they speak English in Belize. So it's really Belize is nice. And in some of the islands in Belize, they don't have cars are not even allowed. If you've been to Belize, put a B or a thumbs up. You know, so some places in Belize you can't even drive a car there. So it's really in tune with nature and everything. And so I think that that's a really good jump off point. Cost of living is pretty good in Belize too. So I would say that's a good spot to start. And you're really not far from the U.S. So you got the U.S. dollar, you got English language, you got a pretty good dollar to the Belizean money ratio, and you're not too far from your home country if you're from the U.S. So just think about that. I mean, just take baby steps like that if you're really afraid. But if you're really ready to go for the gusto, you're really ready to get dizzy. If you're really ready to come on out here on the wild side and come here and live in Asia, then this is where you really get the bang for your buck. And so this is where you really can thrive to a whole nother level. So especially, and I say Southeast Asia is better for people who live like a regular life in the West, because a lot of people can move to Mexico and more expensive countries like Europe and in certain places in Europe. Certain places in France, certain places in England, Sweden, Switzerland. Some people can move that shit because they already had a high standard of life. And when I say high standard, I'm talking about 250,000 and higher. Those people can move to a place like Europe, more expensive places in Europe, and not bat an eye because they probably have a savings and a 401k and investments, and then properties they're bringing in return rental money and stuff like that. I'm not talking. I'm talking about people who probably work a regular job, might bring 100,000 in, or 50,000 into 100,000, somewhere in that 30 to 100,000, and 35 to 100,000, and they realizing that, you know what, I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm just spinning my wheels. I'm just spinning my wheels, and I'm really not getting anywhere. And I want to have a more productive life, a more enriching life. I want to experience more. I want to have more, try different foods. I want to be able to go out and have a nice beer in a nice place in a nice atmosphere anytime I want to. I want to have good medical care where I treat it with dignity and respect, and the doctors ain't worried about paying for their new Bentley on my life. I mean, right before I left the West, I seen like a few people, my friends, real associates, literally go in and never leave out. You know, and it seems that be the case in so many cases. Like they always say, either the jail or the hospital in the West. A lot of times, if you go in those, you might not be coming out. So a lot of the people I saw, like a couple people right before I left were gone now, because to me it was like they were giving them all these medications and all of these surgeries, and it was like, why do they need all of that? Like what? I mean, I ain't no doctor, but again, you don't. I don't experience that, and all the people I know don't experience that here in Southeast Asia. Um, it's a certain amount of pride, and it ain't about money. It's about character, you know. And I'm not knocking a capitalist system because I'm getting to the politics of money system. But the reality is, I think it's a cultural thing because if you put money over the job you do, then you'll do anything. You'll cross the line. And I found that out in here in Asia where I've been at is that people care more about the job they do than they care about the money. And I've noticed that even if you accidentally try to pay more, they never take it. They never take it. Oh no, no, no! Every time. I don't care if I'm at a store. I don't care where the price is. The extra price for an expat, but you know, and even some places they even have a menu that shows you if you live here, if you're from here, this is your price. If you're a visitor, this is your price. Some places I like that, but they let you know up front. It ain't no unless you go to like markets or something like that where they see you coming, they're like, oh, okay, that's a foreigner, and yeah, we're gonna charge them more, stuff like that. Yeah, that happens. But when it comes down to essential things, like most of the stuff is you're going to get a very very fair price. And if you don't make a whole lot of money in the West and you try to figure out how can I afford to pay my bills, how can I afford to eat good food, and how can I afford to maybe send my baby to a nice school, and I can't afford this shit. I can't afford it. I'm literally robbing Peter to pay Paul every month. And all I want to say to y'all, if that's your situation, I feel you. I feel you. I experienced it. And if you can somehow start to pay yourself first out of every check, that's the first thing that changed my life. I mean, I could tell you the process was I literally started listening to audible books on finance for literally a year and a half. I mean, I went through 100 and something books I went through my first year over almost 200 books on Audible. And when they say that if you want to change your life, you first got to change you. And here, every time you ride into work listening to a podcast, you might be want to ride to work listening to a book. That's what I was doing every single day. You know what I'm saying? When my job allowed me to have a one ear thing, and literally the whole day, every day, 8 hours, 10 hours a day, I would listen to the self improvement books on finance and how to govern my finances and how to prepare myself and how to live under, below my means. And once I started getting below my means and I started paying myself first, like every check, before I even saw my check, I took the money off, and that was my investment money. Off my investment money. Then I stopped dealing with 401ks. I'm not gonna knock it. This isn't for that conversation about finance, particularly completely. But once I stopped with my 401k and just started controlling my own money, I noticed things started being a little bit different. Now, after I had to wrangle to get my money out of 401k and I got taxed the shit out of and all that shit, that's when I was like, oh, I'm so sick of this shit. But finally, when I got my money and I was controlling my own money, I was able to put it in my investment, direct and control my own investment dollars. And I saw where it was going, and I didn't pay somebody to control my investments, which they wasn't doing no more than what I could do. And once I learned about all those little rules and I picked up on all those little skills, then it started better preparing me for this life that I knew I was ready to live. Um, Kawar Hussein, what's going on? How are you? Do you want to say something? Let me know. Send a message up here if you want to talk about something. But yeah, if you ready to live that life, then I could tell you for sure it's not no cap. It's not no cap. If you can put some money aside every month that you're getting paid right now, and if you're really ready to come to a distant area and you're not going to give up none of the creature comforts. Like I don't give up nothing. I mean, if you're used to living in a big old house, you can live in a big old house if you want to. If you want to live in luxury, you can live in luxury. If you want to live on a farm, you can live on a farm out here. It's all the same shit. The only difference is you're not caught up in all the bullshit. That's the difference. And it's cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want a view of the city, I got a view of the city right here in this little place here. I'll give y'all. I got a view of the city right. My bags, expat life, man. You know. But anyway, I don't know if y'all can see this though. So yeah, I mean, you could have a view of the city, and you know, eat good. I eat very well. Downstairs of this apartment is about 10 restaurants at the bottom. And um, like I go eat at the lunch special. And the lunch special is, let me see, uh, about less than $10 for it's like a pasta and chicken and a glass of wine and a juice and a very nice ambiance, and it's like $10 for the lunch special. And if you're not really trying to go to the nice restaurant, you can walk to one of the regular spots that are like a local spots where the people like cooking in there, and that's $3. And so even the subway across the street is about $2. About $2, yeah, $2. Actually, less than $2. You know how they have the 5 foot long. What is it in Subway? The $5 foot long. Here they have a Subway here across the street, right at the bottom floor. So you know it's $1 in U.S. dollars. So literally, you can get 5 inch foot long, whatever the hell that thing is, and for $1 or $2. So you know the only thing you're gonna get taxed your ass on is cigarettes and alcohol. So if you got a habit on that shit, they're gonna get you. I mean, you got the cheap versions of it, of course, but you know how we know. We don't want no cheap version of cigarettes, and we don't want no cheap version of no alcohol. you know, but that's an example. Like this crib, 3 swimming pools, badminton court, tennis court, a half of a basketball court. I mean, swings that overlook the city. I mean, turf, artificial turf where you can sit down and do yoga. And your kids can come sit down. You can bring food down on one of the floors and just literally sit down outside in the open air, but you're still in the building. And you and your kids could have a picnic, or you and your loved one or a special person can have a picnic and enjoy food. And literally, when I tell you it's no cap, no boy, you were like, oh, y'all got running water, do y'all got AC? What the fuck you that is up there? That's an AC right there. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what people I think the propaganda that poor people be living under that, and this place, nobody had really stayed in it before I moved in. That's why you don't see a lot of shit that hadn't got put in. Like the TV I was told don't even worry about it. I don't even watch the TV. I'm on my computers and shit all the time. And they were like, okay, all right. So they were like, well, we'll bring it if that. I don't worry about it. It didn't even have nothing in here yet except for the wardrobe and the sinks, and everything like the bed and everything like that. So what's up, Timothy? What's going on? How you doing, Mr. Bowers? I see you. So yeah, shout out to Timothy Bowers. So yeah, I mean, it is really truly an experience if you really want to save up a little bit of money and come out here and enjoy this life. I'm doing well, thank you, buddy. I hope you are too, man. Good guy. So and and I want to tell y'all too that it's like you're talking. Somebody just offered me a place in this building for 1,100 Malaysian ringgit. And do you know that's like $240 a month? Like, I mean, for a badminton court, tennis court, half a basketball court. I mean, three swimming pools, a full gym overlooking the swimming pool. I mean, yeah, two pool tables, a lounge where you can, a community room and lounge room where you can do your work. And if you're working online, I mean, outside tables, outside picnics. They got on another floor. They have little machines that you can do physical, but that's not electrical, but they're all like exercise equipment machines. That's on another floor. That's literally outside, but it's covered. So it's interesting, man. So that's all I got to say is that, if you guys really want to try to get away because you're tired of that negativity, you're tired of the drama, and you're tired of the political bullshit, and you're tired of the high ass bills, and you're tired of the expensive medical, and you're just sick and you're just tired. One thing I can say is that it's out here. It's out here. I mean, you have to be realistic about what kind of life you want to live, and you have to do your research because each country is going to cost you differently. For example, if you want to come to Southeast Asia, you want to come to Thailand, you're going to get apartments and luxury apartments in Thailand starting at $350 a month, you know, and all the way up. There's no, they always have a higher price if you want to go higher. But respectfully, most of the shit as a single person, how much more shit do I really need? I'm a very easy person. I don't need a lot of shit. I need a bed. I need a sink. I need a microwave. I need a refrigerator. I need a gym. And I'm pretty cool. I'm not even one of those people who need a whole lot. So, and, you're talking about food that's gonna cost you $2 a meal, $2.50 a meal. So, if you put a budget, you figure it's cheaper to just buy food downstairs, walking on the streets and stuff. Might be, the street food. Listen, man, the street food in Thailand and even here is better than the store food in America that I was, in the restaurant, some of the restaurants. So don't get caught up in that, man. Don't let the illusion. I have never been sick, not even once. I've been gone 2 years. I've never got sick, not even one time. Not even one time. You know what I'm saying? So the reality is, and I'm not no young dude. So you can see those gray hairs. I'm not no young dude. So, if anybody's susceptible to possibly getting sick, it could definitely be me. And I haven't had that. I haven't suffered anything like that. So it's just a different level, man. So you figure $10, $5 a day on your food. You figure $300 a day if you're a single person, just want a studio, one bedroom. And we talking Thailand right now. I ain't even got to none of the other countries yet. But you just figure on a budget of 1,000 to $1,500 a month on a figure on 1,000 to 1,500, and then just figure multiply that. So just figure if you could save up $15,000 and then buy your tickets, and if you really want, you could just buy one way, and then you know if you want to keep moving around, or if you want to stay in one country, they have visas for that. And that's one of those things that if you really wanted to find out more about, or you had questions more about, you could always contact me, and we can set up a consultation to talk about that. But forget about that right now. But you got places like Cambodia, very, very inexpensive. You got Malaysia, which is right next to Thailand, just south of Thailand. I mean, they have all of the golf courses. If you're a golfer, you love to golf, man, like Thailand has them. Did you know that out of the top 100 hospitals, I just saw the statistics the other day, out of the top 100 hospitals in the world, that Thailand had 40 of them were in Thailand. Like, that blew my mind but the crazy thing is, once you go into a Thailand hospital or dental office, you believe it. You believe it because you never seen you think we be thinking our hospitals be clean. You ain't, I mean, even at my apartments in Thailand when I'm there, it's like Somebody is always cleaning, always. Like somebody is always walking around, sweeping, cleaning, wiping something down. Man, the care they take to the environments that they're working in, the pride they take on their jobs, and you can't walk anywhere on your properties and on the property that you live in and not see people wiping, cleaning, going in the gym, and the gym is always clean, which is a pet peeve of mine. I love a clean gym. I can't stand no fucking filthy ass gym. And in Thailand, they be fucking wiping that shit down. They got spray bottles, they got towels everywhere, every single apartment that I've been in. Now it ain't the same in Malaysia. It ain't the same in Cambodia. Uh, so I can tell you that. So each little country has their own little ticks, little things that are different. But the prices in Malaysia, let's just say the next country down, is about the same price. Like I get a place like this. I'm in Malaysia now. I get a place like this, and like I said, I took the expat price because I didn't sign for a year. I only signed for a few months, and still, that's like $500 a month. So for all the amenities, 7-Eleven on the ground floor. It's three different mini marts on the ground floor, 7-Eleven and two other different mini marts. Probably about somewhere around 10 restaurants, spa on the ground on the second floor. This There's plenty of stuff. If y'all like hearing about this kind of stuff, hit the screen. I guess they say hit the tap or whatever. I don't know. We're supposed to tap the screen, FYP or whatever. I don't know. That's what somebody told me. But anyway, but yeah, if you guys, if you really think that you really want to live that lifestyle, this lifestyle is out here. It's out here, man. I'm enjoying it. I've been gone for almost 2 years now, and I can tell you that once you come out, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. I spent, I was afraid to leave America without getting I had two implants that I wanted to get. Instead of getting the fillings and shit, I just told the dentist, pull them. I'm going to stay an extra year to go through the process of getting these two implants and work at the same time. Literally, I was working to pay for the implants and the bills and just to stay the extra year just to do that. I, within 6 months of me being gone, one of the implants, literally, I was eating and one of the implants came out. $3,000. $3,000, man. It's like, then I went to the dentist and I walked in, and his team was so nice. They were so freaking professional. You can't even wear your shoes in their office. You gotta take your shoes off before at the door, not in the door, at the door, outside the door. You gotta take your shoes off. That's how clean it is. And they have a set of house shoes that you put before you walk into their office. So if you're thinking like, oh, nah, it ain't gonna be. It's a reason why there's this big tourism thing going for healthcare because the quality some other countries is much higher than some countries in the West. you know. And so some people are just trying to get a buck. They put you in this meal and they're just trying to turn money. They don't care about the quality of the service that they're giving you. And so that's the thing we have to be really careful and mindful of is that for you that might be Vietnam. I mean, I spent 7 months in Japan. That's Japan is a very, very nice place for you that might be Japan. A lot of people are going to the Philippines. I'll be going to the Philippines shortly. So I know some people went to Bali and and don't even want to leave. So Indonesia, Bali, Indonesia, like everybody's doing that for photo ops, but it's really a lot of people that go there just to live. And so, that's the thing. It's a higher quality of life is the argument. So I think you got to start practicing the lifestyle ahead of time. So in other words, if you're really going to try to prepare for the life, you're really going to have to start getting rid of everything. Anything that you ain't using on a constant basis gotta go. That's what I tell people when they call me and want to have talk to me about this. I tell them how many, if you put all your stuff in 3 bags right now, you fit it all in there. Most of us gonna say no, right? And so if you say no, then you're gonna have to get rid of a lot of your shit. And a lot of people, first thing they say, oh yeah, I'm gonna just put it in storage. I'll tell you a quick story. That's one of the things that I did. I put my stuff in storage and moved to Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica. First, I put stuff in storage and went to Costa Rica. Came back and threw all the shit away that I had in storage. Left some shit in storage in Costa Rica. Came back to Costa Rica, saw the shit I had in storage, and threw that shit away. So the reality is, if you can leave it in storage, it's probably because you don't fucking need it. You rather in this day and age, if you could sell it, get your money out of it, get your cash in your pocket, and go with cash first. Because right now, cash is king, and junk is junk. And the reality is, all of the sentimental value, you can make other sentimental things. I mean, if it's something small, trinket, my mom's wedding ring, okay, look, we ain't talking about that shit. We're talking about couches and beds and big pieces of furniture, but bulky shit that you're storing that really have no real inherent value. You just gotta let that shit go, you know, and realize that what it is that really means the most to you, and those are the things you put in a piece of luggage. Those are the things you carry. Just imagine you're going to carry it on your back and only bring what you would carry that you willing, something you say you had to walk a mile. Just think about it. If you couldn't roll it and carry it, don't bring it. Don't bring it out here, man. I'm going to tell you straight up, number one, it costs more. Every time you go from one country to the next, it's going to cost you more and more and more rather than just having the minimal amount. You can go from one country to the next without even having to check luggage and stuff sometimes. So the more minimum you get it, the better. And that's just the reality of it. I mean, I'm like, yes, do I check luggage every time? I do. I do. I check one bag every time, but I basically don't have more than one check bag, one carry on, and then my regular bag that I have on me. So I try to keep it at a minimum, as much as low as I possibly can. But that's everything that's put into my life. So you know, if you don't really need it, if you're not using it constantly, don't store it. Don't put it in storage, and don't bring it if you don't need it. Sell everything that you don't need. Get all the money from everything you can. Start paying yourself first from the job. Start getting that in your mind that you're about to change your whole entire life. You know what I mean? You see, also, I want to tell you all the goods without telling you some of the most difficult parts that a lot of people won't fucking discuss. But if you're a very sociable person, which most human beings are, we live in a sociable where we are predisposed to being social beings, just like many other mammals, and it can be very difficult when you're used to being around friends, you're used to being around family. You want to be the hip guy, the party guy, you're the guy who always at the bar on every Friday, or you're the guy who always at the baseball games or basketball games, or you're the woman who's always at the little events that women go to. I don't know, y'all go to book readings and stuff, whatever y'all do. Um, you have to be around your social circle. That is one of the most difficult parts to live in this lifestyle. And you would have to be ready to be aware that you're not going to be around those people. You know, you're not going to walk downstairs and those people are going to be there. You're not going to be able to make a phone call and jump in the car and go over there and see those friends. That's the part of the social isolation that you're going to experience by being an expat. Now, don't get me wrong. If I go downstairs, I can meet 50 people. It's just not a problem, especially because a foreigner, and if you extend yourself as a foreigner, people are like, you know, they're happy because you don't think you're better than them. See, a lot of us go places and we treat people like we're better than than they are. We act like we're better than they are. And if that's your fucking attitude, stay where you're at, man. Stay. Don't bring that shitty ass attitude out in the rest of the world. Because really, it's not needed, it's not wanted, and it's not good energy. And what one guy said on his YouTube channel one time about Chiang Mai, Thailand. And if you guys know about it, if you heard of Chiang Mai, Thailand, give me a thumbs up or hit the heart buttons or whatever you do, tap the screen. And Chiang Mai, Thailand, the guy said that Chiang Mai was the place for the spiritually sensitive. I will always repeat this statement because it was so powerful. And when I went to Chiang Mai, I understood where he was coming from. And what he was trying to say is that the people are so aware of how they treat other people around them. They are aware of the environment, they're aware of how they treat other people. I've been places where people looking and staring at you, and or just really blissfully ignorant, walk past you, or what they say GPS as to where their body is in comparison to where your body is. That's crowds, and they don't care. They bump into each other. Not, but it's some cultures that are really so aware and keenly sensitive to that kind of stuff that, oh, excuse me, oh, pardon me, oh, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Thank you for company, patronizing me. Woo, woo. People who give you the money with two hands. Like even when I was in Ethiopia, people always hand you money or food like this. This is a level of respect, and some places you just don't experience that level of respect and care and dignity, you know. And you just have to go where you feel like your life is valued and you as a person you valued. If you feel like that, you're gonna get in your car and might not come back home, or that you feel like you're taking a risk every time you go out your house every day. I mean, we're all taking a risk. Anything can happen, any place, anytime, anywhere. I'm not suggesting that, but what I am suggesting, if you're aware that you feel like you're always, if that pressure and stress is on you all the time, and you always feeling like, damn, I could get in my car and never come home, or damn, the police behind me, oh, they gonna bother me, or damn, look at these people hanging out at the gas station. Every time I come to the gas station, I can't go in without people begging me for money, or shit like that. If you're feeling like that's overwhelming you, then you might want to consider a lifestyle change. I'm just saying, just saying. So you might want to get away from that. But again, like I said, you're going to be socially isolated. You're not going to be around a lot of your friends. You're not going to be. If you need to be next to your mama and you need to be able to get in the car and go see your mama, that's probably going to be the lifestyle for you. I'm gonna keep it raw and uncut. If you need to see your grandbabies every 3 days, it's not the lifestyle for you. You know, if you're trying to take care of grown ass kids and you scared to leave them because they 25 and they haven't figured out what to do with their life, if you ain't bringing them with you, this ain't the lifestyle for you. If you got 3, 4 cars and having 30 handbags and shit is more important than traveling the world or having the freedom to travel the world. Perhaps the expat lifestyle. Don't get me wrong, you can always come out and come back. Come out and come back. Come spend a year out and then come back. Now if you have that in your mind already that you're only gonna be out for a year and then you're gonna come back, then maybe I can see you putting something in storage. But just think about it. What you're gonna pay for storage literally would pay rent in some of these countries. Literally, you know. Grand Mac, what's going on? Welcome in, Grand Mac. Welcome in. Michael Raymond, welcome in. So the price that you would pay to put stuff in storage, that could be exactly like how much you pay for rent in like some of these places, depending on how big your storage is. Like I said, when I went to the dentist for the full checkup and everything like that, it was only like about $30. That's panoramic exam. He did all the checks and everything like that. It was very, very inexpensive and stuff, high quality, everything. So you're not really gonna miss nothing out here. Um, you got to make sure that when you move, when you come out here, you're doing it for the right reasons. Um, don't just do it because you're jumping on the bandwagon, which I don't think most people will never do this because they ain't gonna last. You, what keeps you out here is understanding the value and the juxtaposition that you're in by comparison to the life that you just left. Most people who pack up their shit to come live an expat life, they do it because they put a lot of thought and a lot of work into the process. It is not an easy thing. It's difficult. You're gonna be lonely. You're gonna be without a lot of your friends. Are you gonna make associates? Yes. I'm not one of them people that's quick to be calling people friends. I don't throw that word around. I ain't too quick to try to have friends, and I don't really like a whole lot of new people. Some people, that's what they live for. They need to be around a whole bunch of people. That makes it. Trust me, you're not gonna have a short. It's not like it's only one corner of the planet where there's people outside. You're not gonna. You can go to a bar, the Four Seasons right up the street around here. And make friends. Or so many other rooftop bars and shit that roll around here in these different cities. Whether you're in Bangkok, whether you're in Pattaya, whether you're in Chiang Mai, whether you're over here in Malaysia and you're in Kuala Lumpur. All of these cities have all the same shit, all of the same quality, if not better, but for less price, less hassle, less stress. And if you do have stress, trust me, you probably brought it with you. You're probably worried about what's going on back home. This is what I saw in the first year. Most of the people who were stressed out, they were stressed out because they were really more worried about what their family doing back home with their ex-boyfriend or ex-husband or kids or mama, daddy, family, and what the politics are happening. Why are you worried about it? Like literally, you know, you came to the other side of the planet for a reason. It's because you don't want to be stressed out with the bullshit that's going on where you were at. So don't bring the bullshit with you. And it's very tempting to do that. It's very tempting to try to bring a piece of home with you because let's just face it, it is in us. So we want to bring it with us. You know what I'm saying? But you got to leave that where it's at, and you got to take the time to embrace each culture that you're going into. So that's what I want to say. You want to go in there with an open mind and open heart. People who come in there and acting like they're the boss of shit, take your ass back home, man. It's one thing that really gets under people's skin when they see it is that these big shot ass people who come into the countries and acting like they're superior. They have this superiority complex where they think that they're better than other people who the culture that they come around is disgustingly irritating. It's like when you see it, it's like everybody's sitting around looking at the person like, dude, you're making us all look bad. Even though we're not doing it, it's like this is what people think we are. You know, have some respect for yourself. You know, but you're gonna have people like that who are gonna really feel that because their dollar is stronger or their money, their currency is higher or stronger, that they're better than the people that they're coming to be around. And I implore you, don't bring that from your country, wherever you're coming from, to the East, because it reflects poorly upon you, your country, and everything else. So, you want to come here with your heart open, with your mind open, and being humble and having humility and respect for every culture that you go into. You want to have respect and you want to be willing to learn the language, the culture, How is it? And maybe learn how to respect that and not to step on anybody's toes, you know. And hey, it just teaches you to be humble. If you ain't ready to be humble, if you ain't ready to be learned, if you're not interested in immersing yourself in other cultures, now don't get me wrong, you can come and be around expats anywhere. You can go to Dubai, they got expat communities where you can just kind of envelope yourself into this expat community and never really leave out there that much. You can go into Thailand and they have expat communities all on Facebook groups, and you can jump into those groups. And for the most part, you can kind of keep yourself in those little groups. It's no different than when people come to the West, and the first thing they do is go find the groups of people that they're used to, because that's what the food they like to eat. They speak the language that they speak, and they come and try to go find that group. Also, those groups have formed a community that help those people get adjusted into the new country. So it does have its place, but you have to be careful not to allow that to dictate your whole life and never get into learning about the other uh, the other cultures and stuff. That's what you have to do. So another thing is like a big part of it is researching how much money you have, how long do you plan to be gone, and how much is the average cost of living in the place that you're going to. So you have to make sure that, okay, the average cost of rent. Full cool part about this shit, Airbnb, you can go on Property Guru, you can go on all these different websites, Booking.com, Expedia.com, and you can look up prices and you can look them up from month to month. Because, say, like me, I don't stay in countries usually more than a visa, and the longest visa I've had is in Mexico. Mexico gave me a 180-day visa on arrival. That's not that's not usual. That's why a lot of people go to Mexico, because you get 6-month visa as soon as you step your foot into Mexico. And that's like that in the rest of the world, you usually got to pay for a special visa to get that much time in the country. Although their rules change, feel like they change every month. Um, but like you might come to Thailand, I think now it's 60 days on arrival with a US passport and some other passports. I think it's 60 days they give you that you can stay in the country, but before you have to renew it. And I think maybe 90 days before you got to leave the country and come back. So Malaysia, they give you 90 days automatically. They're one of the longer ones. So I think Philippines might give you 90 days now too. I think Bali or Indonesia gives you 30 days. So these visas, if you don't know what a visa is, you got your passport, which is the book, and a visa is kind of like a pass that they stamp in your passport. It gives you the right to be in that country for a set amount of time. That's what a visa is. A visa, not the credit card, but it's basically a stamp that they put in your passport to let anybody who runs across you in that country know this is when they got here. This is their projected time of leaving. Okay. So, and it's good to know that before you go into a country. You don't want to sell everything, grab your shit. I'm going over here to Rwanda, I'm going to Ghana or whatever. And you don't even know how long is Ghana say you can stay. You know, when do you have to leave? You got to know all these rules. Okay. So that's something you really want to study and learn. And make sure that you don't need a visa before you arrive, because every place you can't just get on the plane and go. I don't know if Vietnam's still the same, but I think before Vietnam, well, now they got it online. I haven't been to Vietnam in a while, but I plan on going back there. But before, years ago, when I went to Vietnam, I literally had to send my passport to Vietnam, or whether I had to send it to an embassy, Vietnamese embassy. And before they were able to switch it over to stamp it, they put a whole page sticker, visa sticker, over one of my pages, and they mailed it back to me. So, yeah, guys, definitely, we had detect inactivity during your current live. Let me see here. They're saying I'm not being active, maybe because Do you gotta tap the screen or something? Maybe you guys tap the screen if you it's saying it's seeing no activity. But anyway, um, but yeah, guys. So that's the idea behind it. You want to find professional networks. You want to figure out who you deal with, who's in your business, who's in your line of work. You know, you want to make sure that you get into the groups of people who are in your line of work. You want to also try to figure out that if you're doing something remotely, you are in the best position and more than anybody else. If right now you can work from home, you're in a better position than probably 60% of a lot of people, because a lot of people can't leave because they don't have any remote work. The only way you need to do is try to figure out how to switch that from, and make sure that you can leave the country, use a VPN, and do that remote work anywhere in the world, and you don't have to check in. That's the shit they try to get you on. You have to check in every month, every week, So trying to switch that if you can. They say worry about your tax obligation. I'm not an accountant, and I wouldn't get too worried about no tax stuff. To be honest with you, I mean, if you work in a U.S. job and they take taxes out, it's the same shit. It doesn't matter whether you're in fucking India or you're in America. Out of your check, your taxes are already going to be pretty much paid. Plus, just get an accountant and you'll be good to go. Um, what was I going to say? What's another thing? And I'll wrap this up. But yeah, these are things you guys just want to work. Don't worry about healthcare. Don't worry about schools for your kids. They got international schools. Oh, they got an international school I can see from my window. It's a huge one too. It takes up like half a block. So it's designed for people who are from out of the country. And the prices are really good. So you don't have to worry about that if you have kids. Animals. Um, all I can say is that animals, you would rather be bringing a kid than bring an animal because the requirements and the rules and regulations that they put on you to to bring an animal in is really steep. So if you have animals, just understand they're about to send you to the ringer. And wherever you're going, make sure that you plan on kind of setting up there for a little while, because what you don't want to do is have a dog and then try to go to Thailand and then try to go to Malaysia, then try to go to Indonesia. Each one of those countries are going to have some different rules. Each one of those countries are going to have different expectations. They're going to have different things that they are going to be expecting you to do. Um, some of them want you to make sure that you have your shots only 2 weeks in advance before you come. So it's a lot of rules and stuff, a lot of shots, and a lot of you got to have paperwork that says whether they're a companion, emotional support thing. It's a lot. So I don't have any animal, but I've seen people what they have to go through. The crate size has to be this dimension and that dimension and blah 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 blah. And they have to be able to stand up in the crate, and they cannot be where they leaning over in the crate. You have to be able to stand up without having to lower their head. It's a lot. And so if you plan on expatting and you plan on leaving out and you have animals, understand it's going to be more liability and more requirements than it would be bringing a baby. You know what I'm saying? So that is another thing that you guys are going to have to be worried and concerned about. Clothing, as you know, man, Gucci, Prada, Fendi, everything, and all that shit here. The real shit and the knockoff shit is everywhere. You don't have no problem getting anything, flip flop, shoes, hats, jackets, jewelry, whatever you fucking want. That's everywhere. Malls right out down the street right here and shit. It's 4, 5 levels. I think one of them got a theme park inside the mall. And so everything that you want, man, you're not gonna be missing out on nothing. The only thing you'll be missing out on is drama and bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So if you ready to miss out on some drama and some bullshit, you ready to come live a chill ass life and kick back, pay about $300 to $500 on rent for a luxury apartment. If it's just you want to get a studio. I usually have a studio in one bedroom, so I spend between $300 to $500 on my apartment per month. So that's the thing, guys. It's out here, and I don't want to hold y'all too long. I think we've been on here for an hour. If y'all got any questions, shoot a question up. Um, I guess I can put my email or something, or you can go to my page or send me an email if you have any questions or you're interested in doing any kind of consultation. You want to sit up for a time and let's talk about it and break down your situation personally. I'm out here. I've been out here for 2 years. I've been doing this shit. I'm gonna keep on doing this stuff, and I don't really see any reason why I should even be returning back anywhere because my quality of life is just way better, and I'm just in so much more peace. So I don't really see the purpose of me going to go back into a stressful situation or having to pay $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 rent on an apartment and shit. You know, $300, $400, $500 for car payment, note, insurance. I don't have to own no car out here. I don't need one. Transportation is right outside the door of my building. Uber is out here. Here we call it Grab. Uber in some places, but we have Grab here. Um, and so, yeah, all the shit that you want, it's all available. Great level of healthcare, great schools, even if you're an international student, good schools. So everything that you want. So again, guys, if you got any questions, hit me up. You know, Mr. Cosmic, I'm your expat buddy here out here, and I'm here to help you if you have any questions about taking a year off or taking a couple years off and you want to come out here and live in, the expat lifestyle. And I think that if you talk to any other expats, they're going to tell you that it's worth it. It's worth it. Don't don't turn around and say, "I wish I had did that," because you could always go back. That's the thing. Nothing stopping you from going back. You can always go back to the lifestyle that you were living. Nothing stopping you from doing that. So, but you never know when you're gonna have another chance. That's why I kind of like said that, I'm in my late 40s, and I'm like, I don't want to ever live with any regret. And the only thing that I know that you have an opportunity to do when you have a Western passport really allows you the privilege of being able to go in so many different countries where people who don't have a Western passport can't do that. And people don't realize how good their welcome Leslie Arthur. Hey, people don't realize how good that their passport really is. What's up, Miss Philly 2215? What's going on? And people don't realize that we have passport privilege. And so, hey, where am I? Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. And people don't realize that we have passport privilege, and we can go into a lot of countries visa on arrival. So we can, a lot of other people cannot do that. So again, if you want to leave that kind of lifestyle behind, if you want to leave the drama and the bullshit and the headaches and all of the wrangling and going back and forth about things that really don't add to the quality of your life and to the quality of your existence as a human being, and you find that there's more drama and negativity that's going on in your home country, and you're interested in going to live a different kind of lifestyle, one that's more fulfilling, one that's more peaceful, one that's more laid back, one that's more chill, and just a higher quality of life for less cost. Come on out here, man. Expat life, baby. Come on out here and live this life, man. It's out here. It's for you to take it, man. It's for you to come live this life. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Kiki. Appreciate it. You know, um, it's out here. You know, it's out here. So come on out here, live this life. And if you guys have any questions about how to take the steps forward. If you have any questions you think that I can help you with, you know, go onto my page, check it out, and if you need a consultation, you need to sit down and talk to. We could do a video call, or whatever, and I can help walk you through the process. And I'll be more than happy to do that. And just get at me. I appreciate y'all. If y'all have any questions, holler at me. Other than that, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Ain't gonna hold y'all. I appreciate it, man. I'll see y'all on the next time. Mr. Cosmic, I'm out. I'll see you. Peace.